This conference will now be recorded.
Right. So yesterday we are discussing the second example on what navigation between entities. So as part of that, we have created what two entities. One is sales order header, another is sales order item. In case of sales order header, we have four properties: sales order ID, created by, created at, and GUID. Sales order ID is a key property, and next we have sales order item. Here also we have some 4 to 5 items, and there are two key properties. One is sales order ID and sales order item number. Okay, done. Then we have created the association. On top of that association, we have created the navigation property. Then under service implementation, as part of the principal entity, that is as part of the source entity, we implemented the stubs GetEntitySet and GetEntity. GetEntitySet is responsible for returning the list of what all the sales orders header data, and GetEntity is used for returning the header data of a particular sales order. I think we have implemented both of them. This also implemented. Done. Now the next step is we need to implement the getter methods of what the second entity set. So under service implementation, we have sales order item set. So here first let us implement this one, GetEntitySet. GetEntitySet. So this is for returning what item data. This is for returning the item data of what all the sales orders. So let me implement it. It takes a control to data provider extension class. Now we need to implement the method sales order items underscore get underscore what entity set. So let us redefine this method. I'll put the cursor here, redefine the method. Done. So here, what is the purpose of this method? It has to return the item data. It has to return the item data of what all the sales orders. So what is the function model you have to use? If you go to function builder, we have the function model BAPI underscore EPM underscore sales order underscore get underscore what list. Yesterday we have used this function model. Yesterday, since we want the header data, we are receiving all the parameters are what optional here. So we are receiving this header data internal table. Now we need to receive the item data. So we need to consider this particular parameter. So we don't have any mandatory importing parameters. This is optional only. Since I have to receive the item data of all the sales orders, okay, I need to receive this particular internal table. So what is the logic you have to write here? We have to get the item data of what all the sales orders. Get the item data of all sales orders. Done. So I require the internal table data t underscore item data type table of what is the parameter which we are interested to receive, this only. So let me declare done. Let me declare the work area for this. W underscore SO item data type. So I declare internal table and what work area. Let us call the function module WAPI underscore EPM get underscore list. So in this, I'm interested to receive the item data. That is the reason I'll consider the second parameter. I'll consider the second parameter here. That is SO item data. SO item data equal to what is the internal table I declared? T underscore SO item data. Done. Then if T underscore SO item data, if T underscore SO item data is not initial, okay, if it is not initial, what you have to do, we have to map the retrieved item details to the return parameter. What is the return parameter here? We have the internal table et underscore entity set, which is referring to our what entity, which is referring to our entity internal table. Done. So let me declare it. So here I have to say map the retrieved item details to the return parameter. I need to map it to what? This particular internal table et underscore entity set. What is this type here? If you double click on this, yeah, it is TT sales order item type standard table of TS underscore sales order item. Yeah, sales order item is a what type? BAPI underscore EPM underscore BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore item. BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore item. Done. Yeah. So here I'll declare our work area. Data W underscore entity set like line of what is the return parameter et underscore entity set et underscore entity set. Let me loop my internal table. What is this type? T1 underscore S. Both are of same type now. Since both are of same type, let me directly try to assign that. So here I'll say et underscore entity set. Et underscore entity set is equal to what is the T1 underscore SO item data. Since both the types are same, I'm directly assigning it. Okay, and if let me check it now, save, check for the syntax error, no errors, done, activate this. Understood. What are the internal table we got here? In the function mode, if you observe, this internal table is a what type? BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore item. BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO item. And this internal table also, et underscore entity set also, it is of same type. That is the reason I am directly trying to assign. Instead of looping this internal table and mapping it from work area to target work area and then appending, I am trying to directly do this. So let us test it. I'll activate this. Done. Go back. Activate this. Done. Generate the runtime artifacts. Done. Maintain it. Yeah, what is the sales order item set? So what it has to do? It has to return the item details of what all the sales orders. So when I execute, let me check whether I'll get the data or not. It's taking lots of time because it's a huge amount of data. It will take lots of time. Okay, it's in lots of time here. I'll do one thing. Let me stop this transaction. I'll go to CGW. I'll do one thing. I'll run this URL in the external browser. Control C. I'll run it in the external browser. It will take some time here. Let it take. It will take some time there. Let it take. So meanwhile, let us implement the other one, because here it will take a lot of time. That's why I'm running in the external browser. Done. Done. Now let us implement the another step. So as part of this service implementation, it is still processing that. Okay. So as part of this service implementation, let us implement this step in the entity set sales or item set. Let us implement what? Get entity. So what it has to do? It has to return the item details. It has to return the item details of a particular sales order item number. Okay, because what is the key properties here? If you take the second entity, there are two key properties. What are the sales order ID and sales order item number? So we are going to pass both sales order item ID as well as sales order item number. So what is the meaning? We have to return the item details of a particular sales order item. So let us implement this. So go to ABAP Workbench. Yeah, what is that? Sales order items underscore get underscore what? Entity. Let us redefine this method. One second, please. Is it processing yet? It is still processing. Okay. Done. Let us implement this method. So, what are the two input parameters I'm going to pass here? One is sales order number I'm going to pass, and there is what? Item data of what? Sales order number. So, we are going to pass what? Two parameters. One is sales order number, another is what? Item number of what? Particular sales order. Okay. My problem. Such as sorry, there's a mic problem here. Right. So I'm going to pass what sales order number and what sales order item number, because those are the two key properties for this particular entity. So first let us read the sales order ID sent through the URL. So here I will say read sales order ID sent through URL. What is the purpose of this method? It has to return the item details of a particular sales order item. It should not return the item details of what? It should not return all the item details of a particular sales order. It has written the item details of a particular sales order item. Suppose if you have sales order 4980, assume that it has got three sales items, item number 10, 20, 30. What is the input we are going to pass? We are going to pass the sales order ID as well as the item number. So it has written the details of what? Only this particular item, not all the item details of that particular sales order. Okay, because we have designed the entity like that. We have taken two key properties. So here, first I'll read the sales order ID sent to the URL. What is the parameter which will carry that? We have seen that many times. What is that? IT underscore key underscore tab. So let me read it. I require a work area first. Data w underscore key underscore tab, like line of it underscore key underscore tab. Read the internal table. Read table it underscore key underscore tab into w underscore key underscore tab with key name equal to, let me refer to the property name because the property names are also what case sensitive. So if you go to the second entity here only, SOID, S and I are uppercase, here S, I and P are what? Uppercase. Okay, they are the property names. Okay, so let me go back. Yeah, with the key name equal to, what is the name of the property? SOID, S and I are uppercase. Done. Then here I'll say if size of bars is equal to 0, if size of bars is equal to 0, what I have to do? I have to get the item details of a particular sales order ID. Na? So what is the function model I have to use here? I have to use the function model BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore get underscore what? Detail. Get underscore detail. What is the signature of this? It takes one work area as a parameter, and this work area will carry what? Sales order ID. It will carry the sales order ID, and it returns the header data, but I'm not interested in header data. I'm interested in the item data. So I need to receive this particular internal table. Before that, I need to prepare the input parameter. So let me prepare the input parameter. I'll copy that. If size of bars equal to 0, what I have to do? Prepare input parameter containing what? SOID. So it's data w underscore SO underscore ID, data w underscore SO underscore ID type what so and so. Done. Then w underscore SO underscore ID hyphen, what is the field in that we observed? SO underscore ID equal to, what is the work area here? W underscore key underscore tab hyphen what? Value. Hyphen value. Then yesterday we had one issue, so I'll use what? Unpack function, so that it will adjust to the size. Unpack w underscore SO underscore ID hyphen SO underscore ID 2 to W underscore S1 underscore ID hyphen the same field S1 underscore ID. Done. Then what you have to do, the next step is get the item details. Get the item details of what? Specific sales order ID. So I'm interested in the item data. So what is the internal table it is going to return? This only. BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore item. So let me receive it. Control C. Data T underscore item data type table of so and so. I require a work area W underscore item data type so and so. Now let us call the function model BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore get underscore detail. We have to pass the input parameter. What is the work area prepared there? W underscore SO underscore ID. I'm not interested in the header data, I'm interested in the item data. That's why I'll receive this internal table. What is the internal declare T underscore item data. T underscore item data done. Then I'll say if T underscore item data, if it is not initial, okay, if it is not initial, okay. So this internal table will contain what? All the item details. It contains all the item details of a particular sales order. Means it contains what? It contains the data of what? 498010, 498020. It contains 498030. But I'm not interested in all the line item details. I'm interested only in the particular line item. Means I have to filter it based on the item number. So what is the other parameter we are going to pass? Item number. So if it is not initial, what I'll do now? Here now I'll read the second parameter. Read the sales order item. Read the sales order item number sent to through URL. Okay, so I'll say clear W underscore, what is it? W underscore key underscore tab. Clear W underscore key underscore tab. Done. Now I'll say read table IT underscore key underscore tab into W underscore key underscore tab. Okay, with the key. What is the second parameter we observed? SINPR uppercase. SO item POS. SO item POS. Done. SINPR in uppercase. Then if size of ours is equal to 0, okay, if size of ours is equal to 0, so I need to refer to the item number now. So in this, 1 second, BAPI underscore EPO SO item to double click. Yeah, what is that field name here? SO underscore item underscore position. I need to refer to the item number. SO underscore item underscore POS, which is it's a field of what? This particular structure. BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore item. So what I'll do is, if size of ours is equal to 0, let me declare one variable data SO underscore item underscore position type BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore item hyphen what are the pairs in SO underscore item underscore position. Okay, I declare that. So let me receive it now. LV underscore SO underscore item underscore position equal to what is the work area there? W underscore key underscore tab. I'll debug, it will be very easy. I'm extracting the item number. Done. Here also I may have that issue. So I'll say unpack LV underscore SO underscore item underscore position to the same variable LV underscore SO underscore item underscore position. Done. Now this internal is carrying all the item details, but I don't want all the item details, only a particular item detail. So we declare work area for that. Yes. So here I'll say clear W underscore item data. Then I'll say read that internal table. Read table. Read table. What is the internal table? T underscore item data into what is the work area? W underscore item data with the key. What is the field in that? SO underscore item underscore position equal to what is that variable? LV underscore SO underscore item underscore position with the key LV underscore SO underscore item underscore position. Okay, I'm reading a particular record. Then what we'll do here, yes, here answer if size of ours is equal to 0, I need to return what is the parameter here, er underscore entity, er underscore entity, that it is of types also done. So I'll say move corresponding, what is that, w underscore item data, move corresponding w underscore item data to what, er underscore entity, er underscore entity. I need to close all the things here, and if, and if, okay, another end if is closed. Do you have any other if here? Yeah, one more if is there. Okay, and if, check for the syntax error. W underscore item data is unknown. What I declared here, not underscore. Underscore is not there. So here, move corresponding W item data done. Let me save it. Check for the syntax error done. I'll try to put the breakpoint there. I'll go back. So I have to pass two input parameters. One is sales order ID, SOID, and SO item POS. Okay, both are character types only. So here I'll maintain it. Gateway client. Browse for the second entity set done. So I need to pass the parameters. So what I'll do here, I'll pass two parameters. What is the first parameter? SOID. SOID equal to, randomly I'll give one sales order. SOID is equal to done. This is one sales order. Okay, done. And I have to pass another parameter. What is that? SO item position. SO underscore item position equal to, I don't know if it's available or not, so I'm randomly 20. SO item position equal to 20. Done. Let me check the stopping there or not. Execute. Yeah, it is stopping there. So we are passing two input parameters. One is sales order ID, another is sales order item number. So if you see this internal table, yes, it contains two entries. Yes, SO ID is so and so, SO item position is 20. I am interested only in the item details of this particular item number 20 of that particular sales order. So first I am referring to the sales order, I am reading it. Okay, done. I got the sales order ID. I'm using the unpack function so that it will adjust it to the width. Then it is prefix 0. So the total length is 10, character of 10. That I got 0 here. Now I'm trying to call the function model where I'm passing the sales order ID. Okay, and it will return the internal table containing the item data. So I'm going to say F6. Good. I got 6 entries. So if you see here, good. For this particular sales order, it has got what? 6 items, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Done. Okay, so now what I have to do, I'm not interested to return all the item details. No? I'm interested to return only a particular line item data. So what I'll do here, I'm reading the second parameter here. Done. If you see the item number, yeah, I'm reading it. Okay, I'm using the unpack function. Okay, I got that unpack function. I got 20 there, done. Now I'm reading that. So I'm reading this into the work area. Okay, I might got it. Let me check the data in this work area. Yes, you can see it. This is a sales order ID. This is item number. So this is the information of what? This is the information of what? Particular line item. Particular line item. Done. F8. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, I got 20. That's all. Only I got the item data of a particular sales order item number. So this is also working fine. Now the important thing is from the source I should be able to refer to what item. So my requirement is, one second please. First of all, I should know which method I have to implement. Okay. Hmm. So here what you are doing here, we are passing the two key properties. So the tool will have the intelligence which method it has to call. Now what I'll do is here, yeah, here, let me remove all these things. I'll say dollar what metadata, dollar metadata. Yeah, I got the metadata. So just observe here. I'm interested to check the navigation property name. What is the navigation property name here? Anywhere? Yeah. What is the navigation property name? Two sales items. Two sales items. Done. Two sales items. Okay. So here, two say TSIR uppercase. Okay, done. So here, just try to understand. Observe here. If I pass the URL like this, okay, this is one what test case. Let me document here. This is case one. If I pass the URL like this, what happens here? Executes a stub. Executes a stub. What is the stub? It executes get entity set. Execute the stub get entity set of entity. Get executes a stub get entity set of the entity. What is the first entity here? Sales order header. Sales order header. Executes a stub. Executes the stub get entity set of entity sales order header. Returns what? Returns what? Header data. Returns header data of what? All what? Sales orders. Returns the header data of all the sales orders. This is case 1 which we implemented yesterday. Case 2. What is the case 2? Suppose here I'll say what, like this I'll pass. If I pass like this, what happens? It will return the header data of what particular sales order. So in this case, this is case 2. This is case 2. If I pass like this, what happens? It executes a stub. It executes a stub what? Get entity of what? Entity of entity. What is that entity? Sales order. Sales order what? Sorry, sales order header only. Sales order header. And what happens here? Returns what? Header data of what? Specific. Returns header data of what? Specific sales order. This also we implemented yesterday. Then case 3. Okay, what is the case 3 here? Let me check this. They tested. Let me execute this. Am I getting that? Yeah, I'm getting the header data of what? Particular sales order. That's all. That's all. Only one. This is working fine. Now, what is the other part here? If I pass like this, sales order item what? Sales order item set. Okay. So it's a control C. Yeah. If I pass like this, what happens here? It executes a stub bot get entity set get entity set of what? Entity what? Sales order item, sales order item, and what it will do? It returns what? Item data of what? Returns item data of what? All sales orders. Returns item data of what? All the sales orders. And then case 4. What is the case 4? Just now you have passed. What is that? Sales order item set. Here I have to, what are the key properties in that entity? SOID. SOID, sorry, SOID. I'll pass some value here. What is the other key property? SO item position. SO item position. Okay. So if I pass like this, 30. Okay. This is another scenario. Case 4. Okay. So just over here, it has to return me the item data what this particular item number of that particular sales order. So when I execute, I think you can go to debugging. I'm not interested. Let me say fit. Yeah. So if you observe here, I got the I got the item data of that particular line item of that particular sales order. Okay, only one line item data I'm getting. That working fine. So this is another scenario. So in this case, what happens? Executes executes a stub. What is the stub? Get entity. So always remember, whenever we execute get entity, you have to pass the key parameter values. Execute system get entity of what? Entity. What is the entity? Sales order item. Sales order item. Okay, done. What happens here? Returns line item details. Returns line item details of what? Given sales order number, item number. Okay. It returns line item details. Returns a line item details of given sales order number, item number. Okay. Done. This is also fine. Now the most important thing is case 5. So what is the case 5? Just now we observed by using the dollar metadata. What is the navigation property name I got? Let me remove this. If I use dollar metadata, it will give the information about your service. Yeah, if you scroll down, what is the navigation property name? To sales item. TSLI or what? Uppercase. To sales item. So how do you use the navigation property? Just observe here. To sales item. You know, I'll give like this. Here, done. I'll give the single quotes. I'll give that value 500008. Yeah, if I leave it like this, what happens? It will return me the header data of this particular sales order. Already this scenario is covered. If I leave it like this, okay. See, let me execute this once again. If I leave it like this, when I execute, this already we implemented, and we'll get the header data. We'll get the header data of that particular sales order. So I got the header data done. You can see I got sales order number. I got created by, created at, and something note GUID done. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll use like this. I'll say slash. Already we have seen this in earlier example. Slash. What is the navigation property name? To sales items. To sales items. To sales items. Done. So I don't know which method will call. So what I am doing here, I know the source information. What is the source entity here? Sales order header. What is the target? Sales order item. So I'm giving the source information. From the source, I want to invoke the target. So I'm giving two sales items. Let me check what it will execute. When I execute, here is this also failed. Same time. Okay, meanwhile let me implement. So here when I pass like this, what happens is, what is the case? Okay, let me go back. So if I pass like this, sales order address set. If I pass like this, two sales items, what happens is, so this is the scenario. If I pass like this, what happens is it will executes a stub, get entity set, executes a stub get entity set of what entity gets a executes a stub get entity set of the entity what sales order item sales order item. Okay, so see, same thing it will executes a what stub get entity set of the entity what sales order item. But here what is happening, it will return the item data of what all the sales orders. But here I have to return the item data of my source one. What is that? So and so. So what you have to do now in this case, it has to returns item data of what returns item data of what given sales order. What is the given sales order here? 5000008 of given sales order. Means in both the cases, same method will be executed. But depending on your request, it has to return the appropriate thing. So what I'll do now, I need to modify this particular method. So I'll go back. Let me implement that method. What is that method? Get entity set. Already I wrote some logic here, but here what is the logic? It is returning the item data of what? All the sales orders. It is returning the item data of all the sales orders. Okay. So I need to modify the logic. So what is the logic I have to modify is here. So I'll say read the SOID if passed through URL. Read the SOID if passed through URL. So I need to call that particular function model. What is that? I want the item data of what particular sales order na. So I require the corresponding internal table. So what I'll do is how to get the item data for particular sales order. Yeah, this only. Yes, I need to declare an internal table of this type. I need to pass what? Sales order ID as input. It returns to the internal table. So I'll just take this, Control C. Already it took now. I need to declare. It's already there. So I'll just take this, Control X. I'll put it here. Same thing. T underscore so and so. Yeah. What I'll do here is I'm going to read the sales order through what parameter will come. Do you have any parameter here? Yes. IT underscore key underscore tab. So I'll say read table. Read table what? IT and I require a work area. Na? So data W underscore key underscore tab like line of IT underscore key underscore tab read table IT underscore key underscore tab into W underscore key underscore tab, okay, with key name equal to what is the name here? SOID. If size of bars is equal to 0, what I have to do here? Prepare input parameter containing what? SOID. So I need to prepare the input parameter containing the SOID. So what is the input parameter type here? Yeah, this one I need to prepare a work area. So in this we have a field what? SO underscore ID. So let me take this. Let's see. W underscore SO underscore ID type so and so. W underscore SO underscore ID hyphen what is the field in that? SO underscore ID equal to W underscore key underscore tab hyphen what? Value. Done. So better I'll say unpack W underscore SO underscore ID hyphen SO underscore ID to W underscore SO underscore ID hyphen SO underscore ID. Done. I prepared that. Now I have to get the item details of the given SOID. Okay, now I have to call the function module. What is the function model? BAPI underscore EPM underscore BAPI underscore EPM underscore SO underscore get underscore what? Detail. Get underscore detail. Done SOID. 1 second. Here I'm passing get list. Okay. SOID equal to what is the work area? W underscore SO underscore ID. Done. I'm not interested in header data, I'm interested in item data. So tables, item data. What is the internal table? T underscore SO item data. Yeah. T underscore SO item data. T underscore SO item data. Done. Close the end if here. Done. Should I close the end if here? No. Not here. Okay. Else I'll say done. I'm getting the item data of all the sales orders. Done. Here I need to close this end if. Then the rest of the logic would remain same. Done. Done. Let me save it. I'll debug, then it will be easy. No errors. Good. So here I'll put the breakpoint. I'll put the breakpoint. Done. Sales order item get into set. Done. I've activated that already. Yeah, just observe this. Maintain. So here what I'll do is I'll say sales order header set. Let me pass that. If I leave it like this, already we know you can execute what? The second case. What is that? It executes a stubs answer, returns the header data about specific sales order. But what I want for this sales order, I want the item data. So what I'll do here, I'll say slash two sales items. Okay, let me execute this. Put this stop in there. Right. See, the important thing is which method is calling. What is the method is calling? Sales order items underscore get underscore entity set. So are we passing an input parameter? Yes, we are passing the sales order number. This is a sales order number I'm passing. So I'm reading it. Done. I'm reading it. Done. I'm using the unpack function. Done. Now I'm trying to get the item data of what? Only this particular sales order. So when I call that function, I got 6 entries. Good. Then at the last, what you're doing, we are returning. We are returning. I'll say F8. I said F8. Done. So am I getting the item data? I should get the item date, all the item lines of that particular sales order. So if you scroll down here, yeah, good. You can see it. I got 10. Okay, 500008. This item number 10. Done, working fine. Scroll down and check. For the same sales order, another item that is 20. Then for the same sales order, another item 30. Then I got 40. Then I got 50. Then I got 60. That's all. So I'm getting the all the item line items. I'm getting all the line items of a given sales order. This is working fine. So my navigation properties working fine. Now what I'll do, here, this is so that is a method which got executed. Now what I'll do here, I'll just directly choose like this. Okay, if I directly choose like this, in this case also, see this we have seen. In this case, it has to execute the same stub method like GetEntitySet of which entity sales order item. Let me check whether the control is going there or not. That is the most important. I'll execute this. Good. Yes, you can see. In this case also, it is going to what same method. It is going to the same method. But this time, I am not passing any sales orders. My read will fail now. My read will fail. Sesabars is what? 4. Sesabars is 4. It will come to the else part. So in the else part, it has to, we are what we are doing here? We are trying to get the item data of what? All the sales orders. So this function model execution itself is taking time. So when I say F6 here, yeah, this itself is taking what? Time because we are having huge amount of what? Data. We are having a huge amount of data. Understood? But the main focus here is what? In both the cases, same method is what? Executed. So we should put the breakpoint and check where the control is going. When I use the navigation property, we should know which method is trying to execute. So based on that, I need to make the code changes. The same thing you have seen in the earlier example also. Here also same. Understood. So what is the meaning of navigation? Navigation between entities. I have the source information. I have the source information. Based on that source information, I want the target information. So we have to go for what? This particular scenario. Two sales items. Okay, it depends. The tool will decide which method it has to execute. If I pass these two key properties, it will directly execute what? This particular stub. So depending on the URL, the tool will decide which stub it has to execute. Okay, we can avoid this. By using something called as $expand. This I'll discuss in the next class. Again, this will take another 1.5 hour time. So I'll take it as a separate example. Not in this example, I'll take it as a separate example for the dollar expand. Right? So any questions? See, the function word itself is taking lots of time. It's not our issue. Function word, its execution itself taking what lots of time. Okay, because this is ANAS server, I'm having huge amount of data. Okay, if I execute in the other server in the previous batch, I've executed in another server, not ANAS server. We have less amount of data. I got the response. Okay, but here I got huge amount of data. So that is the reason there is the issue. Otherwise, it will work fine. Okay, so next class what we will do is we will see without creating this navigation property, okay, how to use dollar $expand. So by using dollar $expand, I should get the target information based on the source. Okay, and in that only we have a concept called as deep insert. We'll discuss that in the next class. When shall we have the next class? Devashish, you are asking for a break for 1 or 2 days. So I'm okay to take it on Monday if everyone is okay. Otherwise, you tell me when you want. Monday or Wednesday?
सर वेडनेसडे
Wednesday? Is it fine
मंडे
with
सर मैं
everyone?
नहीं
Correct, correct. Yeah. Even other batch people also they requested. So what we'll do is we'll have our next this backend session. Yeah, Ventesh. Next session we'll have it on Wednesday. Wednesday means 2nd of Jan, 2nd January. Next session we'll have it on Wednesday, 2nd Jan. Okay, right. So I've shared all the recordings till yesterday. Notes I have not shared from last 2 3 days. I have not yet prepared. I'll share the notes and everything by end of today. Okay. Last 3 classes I have not prepared the notes. Okay, I'll prepare it today and I'll share it. This recording also I'll try to share it by end of today. Done?
हेलो सर
So, हाँ देवशीष
हेलो
बोलो.
सर मेरा को एक रिक्वायरमेंट है इसका क्या है कि ना इसमें एक बारकोड मेरे को डिस्प्ले करना है
किसमें?
बारकोड मेरा का क्या है ना जो मेरा जो क्या है कि फ्रंट एंड में डिस्प्ले करना है एक बारकोड मेरा को वो डाटा से उसको कंज्यूम करना है जो बारकोड जो मेरा क्या है कि डेस्कटॉप में है ये मेरा एक्चुअली क्या है कि एक स्टैंडर्ड रिपोर्ट है एसएपी स्क्रिप्ट है वहां से मैं पीडीएफ डाउनलोड करके उसका जो वो है ना बारकोड मैं बारकोड मेरे को डेस्कटॉप में रख लिया उसको मैं आपने जो बताया था मीडिया सोर्स देख के वहां से तो हो जाएगा ना वो डाटा को कंज्यूम कर सकता
Yeah, barcode also comes under media resource. There is pictures, everything will come under what? Media resource. We have to create an entity and you have to select the checkbox media link entity and the
हूँ
same method. I use some methods now. What are the methods? Get stream, update stream. Okay.
ओके
So by using those things, we can do it. Same procedure. Procedure is same because barcode also is considered as a picture kind of thing. Same scenario.
ओके सर सर वो सर वन मोर थिंग काल
Hmm.
काल का जो मतलब यूजर आईडी का जो इश्यू था ना ये मैं तो कर लिया वहां से एक सेटिंग था वहां से चेंज करने के बाद हो जाएगा डिबगिंग
Debugging.
का
Can you tell
हाँ
me that? Even I'm not sure where it is.
सर
किधर है वो?
एक्चुअली क्या है कि ना सर एक्चुअली एसएपी लॉगिन पैड में जो आपका यूजर आईडी डिफरेंट है और आपका ओ
हाँ,
डाटा का यूजर आईडी डिफरेंट है उसके लिए ना
अच्छा
आपका
अच्छा.
एसआईसीएफ का आपको करना पड़ेगा
Configuration. Okay, okay, okay.
हाँ एसआईसीएफ
अच्छा
में जाके आपका एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर में आपका यूजर आईडी मिल जाएगा
अच्छा अच्छा. Okay, okay, okay. Fine. Okay, Devesh.
वहां
Fine.
से अच्छा उसकी बाद में क्या होता है ना यूटिलिटी में जाके सेटिंग को जाके डिबगिंग में तो यूजर आईडी चेंज
Checkbox.
करना पड़ेगा हाँ
Hmm. Okay. Fine, fine. Okay. Ventesh, how many classes left for OData means? Only OData if you take. 1 second. Yeah, around max 3 sessions, another 2 to 3 hours. Venkatesh. Dollar expand is the dollar expand and this deep insert. So maximum 3 hours. So I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we can wind off. Okay. So we'll have our next class on what? Wednesday. Wednesday at what time? Same time. Around 8 o'clock. Around 8 o'clock. Yeah. Around 8 o'clock only. Right? Wednesday we'll have our next class.
सर UI5 बैच UI5 फ्रंट एंड
वही बैक एंड होने के बाद I'll plan for that. Actually वो फ्रंट एंड का क्या है? I want to prepone the timings instead of 7:45, 8 o'clock. I'm planning to have it at 6:30. 6:30. Okay, I'll communicate you. Don't worry about that. It will be. I'll prepone the timings max. Okay, it will not be after 9. Somewhere at 6:30 or 6:45. I'll let you know. First, let us complete this back end part. Then we'll have break for 1 week or so. After that, I'll start with the front end part. I'll communicate accordingly, the vision. It will be in the early morning hours only. Okay. Chalo then. Okay, so I'll wind up then. So thanks everyone. I also wish you advance happy new year to everyone. Okay, so we'll meet again on Wednesday, right? Chalo. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks everyone.